Very warm welcome to all of you with this wonderful summer weather here in the capital city of the federal state of Saxony-Anhalt to the 21st German Congress on Crime Prevention. Let me first of all welcome the speakers of the first section. We have the patron, Minister President Haseloff, represented here today by his Interior Minister. Thank you very much for coming here today. We had a press conference also before. Is there an echo? Is it fine for you, the sound quality? Okay. Then I would also like to welcome the Lord Mayor of the capital city of Magdeburg, Dr. Trümper. He will speak to us. And also Professor Kerner, President of the German Foundation for Crime Prevention and Assistance of Criminal Offenders. And welcome to Dr. Erich Quinn, who wrote the expert's opinion for our Congress, and she will also have a keynote here today. So this is just a short list of examples of our honorary guests, and we will not welcome everybody here, but let me just mention that we have many people here from the German federal government, from the European Union, also civil society, municipalities, and I would also like to welcome the Minister of Justice from Hesse, Ms. Eva Kühne-Hörmann. She's not yet here. She will be here a bit later. And also the Minister of Justice of the federal state of Lower Saxony, which will host our Congress next year. So very warm welcome to Ms. Niewicz Lennartz. Welcome also to the guests from abroad. We have many guests here, more than 120 persons coming from 41 nations. We're very happy to have you here, to welcome you. And if you would like to know exactly where all these delegates come from, you can read it here on this chart. And because we've also got the detailed information on all the people present. And maybe sometimes you meet someone who says, well, do you know Professor so-and-so? I would like to meet him. He has written something very interesting, and therefore we will assist you on finding that person, finding that speaker. We are very happy, therefore, to have also the neighboring states present here. Also colleagues from Austria and Switzerland, but Switzerland is more numerous. But other delegations are also welcome. We have a delegation from South Africa in close cooperation with the German Society for International Cooperation, also from Canada, Central America, also a delegation from Korea with many delegates and important institutions represented here, including the Minister of Justice, the Korean Ministry of Justice has a section for crime prevention with 6 departments, with 6 different sections in it, and we have to go there. We have to travel to Korea, and also we have delegations from Serbia and Croatia. To all of you, all the guests from abroad, a very warm welcome to all of you. Now, if you look at this slide, you can see the huge diversity. We have 2,200 registered participants. Some more will be added, and I think that the day of today, where also the general public has been invited, we'll see many more people here. And the institutions are also represented in the exhibition, and the speakers will also be able to speak to normal citizens, and they might have very basic questions in the sections to be answered. Now, if we look at the funding of the German Congress on Crime Prevention, on how it is organized, there are two very important aspects. We have many partners, that's one point, and we've also the wonderful evening event, which will not be hosted and organized here in this area. We will be back here tomorrow, and again, Professor Welzer will have his final presentation here tomorrow afternoon, but we have organized a wonderful evening event in the Maritime Hotel here in Magdeburg. It's quite simple to get there. You walk out of the normal exit here. You take the tramway, and you have at 18 o'clock, so 6 o'clock p.m., 6:10, 6:20, or 6:30, you can take the tramway. That brings you directly to the Maritime Hotel, to the reception. And you do not have to pay the fee. No ticket is necessary for the special trains, and so it's actually sometimes a burden buying tickets, and therefore it's quite nice not to be obliged to do so today. And our German Congress on Crime Prevention could not organize this event without all the partnerships, and I would like to thank you for all these partnerships that relates to funding, to logistic support, to cooperation. And of course, I would like to thank first of all the city of Magdeburg and the federal state of Saxony-Anhalt. I would like to mention three persons in particular. Of course, many more have participated in the organization, but there is one person who had very clear ideas, and he thought that it could be a very good idea to invite the German Congress on Crime Prevention. Therefore, thank you very much to our professor, former State Secretary of Magdeburg, Dr. Ulf Gundlach. And thank you all to those who all coordinated this, Manfred Bunker and colleague Kallenbach. Just an applause. I would also like to thank all the other partners. There are new partnerships, long-term partnerships, and it's wonderful to see that all this has been possible, and we're already looking forward to next year when it will be about organizing the next Congress. So what will be our main topics here today? Well, I do not want to hide the presentation, but if you look at these keywords, it's about the entire catalog, 800 pages that make up the catalog, and that is the result, the keywords that are mentioned most frequently. Magdeburg, of course, it means that things take place in Magdeburg. It doesn't mean that there is a high crime rate in Magdeburg. Actually, that is not the case, and also it would not be our topic. And also an important highlight of the last few years, an important topic of the last few years is something that we want to dedicate our attention to, because we have scientific experts' opinion. I mentioned the Dr. Amlichte Quinn. She will speak about this expert's opinion here in a few minutes, and we have, of course, a variety of different topics and issues, and of course we have to choose After the Congress, people maybe say it would have been great to have only 10 important presentations, but we want to show this diversity of different topics out of which you can choose. Maybe it's a bit psychological stress, but you have therefore a great diversity from which to choose. So we have however, a main topic, other intersections. Or I studied philosophy for a year at university, and I didn't graduate in philosophy. So you see, it's a bit mixed here, all these different items and topics, and we will speak about them later. The question is, an important topic is also how we want to live together, what keeps us together. So the question about the cohesion in our society, and I would like to talk about this study. I think this is a very interesting study because there was an experiment, and people were told we have 3 pipes, and in every pipe there is one participant of the experiment. So they play a game, and you can see person 1 throws a ball to B or to C, and then you have such a circle, and we want to measure something, anything. And actually, there was always only one person in a pipe, and after 2 minutes, this was interrupted. The circle was no longer possible. But the person that was in the tube, in the pipe, noticed it could not, he or she could not intervene because the other 2 were just playing among themselves. So if you look at the brain, what happens in the brain, it's still difficult to say if something happens in the brain, just to tell the reason why it does. But if you have a pain that comes to the brain, or a headache, or so it's something that has to be recorded by the brain. And also when it comes to exclusion, to social phenomena, it is very important to prevent exclusion. That is a very preventive issue, and it can help us to lay the foundation for concrete prevention measures. So we had the press conference previously, and we often say there is one method, there is one way to do it, to address prevention, but that is not possible, especially in these times. The field is too broad. You cannot find a simple solution. But especially in difficult times, keeping calm and reorienting, that seems to be interesting, and this should be the way it should be. Keep calm. So that was my introduction. Now we would like to ask Holger Stahlknecht, Dr. Trümper, and Mr. Kerner to come to the podium, to come to the floor.